Yo, what is going on, Guardians, and welcome back to another Destiny 2 gameplay video. Hey, in this video I wanted to lay down my list of my top 4 favorite weapons that we got our hands on this season. And I know what you're thinking. 4 is a weird number, right? Normally it's like top 3 or top 5, something like that. But I didn't want to do 5 because that's too many, and I didn't want to do 3 because then I'd have to make a tough choice because there's really 4 that I love. So we're going to go with 4. 4 is good. So this season did, in fact, bring a lot of excellent new and reissued guns. There's the Frozen Orbit Sniper that has received a lot of love in the PvP community because of its zoom value, snapshot, throwback Destiny look, and more, right? There's the Cartesian Coordinate Rapid Fire Frame Fusion. That's really hard to say. Wow, Rapid Fire Frame Fusion Rifle. Say that 10 times fast. I didn't script that. But saying that is actually a challenge. But anyways, it's actually better than most people give it credit for. With its, it's got the potential to roll high impact reserves and under pressure, which mine has. Then there's the Dead Man's Tale, which is arguably one of the most unique and coolest primaries in the history of Destiny, and it brought an absolute tidal wave of lore with it. You've got the bottom dollar 120 hand cannon from Gambit. You got the Palindrome 140 hand cannon from Nightfalls, which is a major fan favorite. I mean, there's so many new weapons this season, and I absolutely love that. Love having rolls to chase and guns to go after. And before we dive into my top 4, I'll shout out what I think deserves an honorable mention. The Messenger, it didn't make it into my top 4, but it is absolutely outstanding. Bringing back Desperado on the Messenger was a brilliant move. The gun performs incredibly well, it looks great, and totally does its predecessor in Destiny 1 justice. I have to include it in the video at least as an honorable mention just because of how exceptional it is. But here are the 4 that stand out the most to me personally, and they're the 4 that I keep coming back to time and time again as I'm playing this season. First up, we have the Far Future Sniper Rifle. The Far Future, unlike Frozen Orbit, is an adaptive frame energy sniper. It cannot roll snapshot like Frozen Orbit, but it can roll quick draw and opening shot, which is a stellar combination. On top of that, it can roll surplus, which mine has, which will effectively give you snapshot and quick draw if you have abilities cooled down. The optics are super clean, and the Frozen Orbit has this weird rectangle scope. It's got this rectangle in the scope, and when you zoom in on the Frozen Orbit, it's got this rectangle thing around the center dot. I don't like that. I don't like all that stuff. Just give me a clean optic with a single dot, and that's what you get with the Far Future. And it's beautiful in terms of its design. The weapon is really quite pleasing to the eye. It can be acquired through playing Battlegrounds and focusing your Umbral engrams. And this thing has already taken me to several We Ran Out of Medals, and I currently have almost 700 kills on it this season. Every time I use the Frozen Orbit, I feel like I miss this weapon, and then when I switch back to the Far Future, I end up being grateful that I did. Go get one. Second on the list, we have the Igneous Hammer. We can only assume that this hand cannon will be available again this season in Trials. It'll most likely be the 3-win or 5-win drop. Every player deserves to enjoy this weapon. I typically play anti-meta in Destiny, but I've been a fan of high-impact hand cannons for the longest time. You guys have seen me using them on the channel, way before they became meta with the changes, and I can't just turn off how much I like them just because they're really good now. I can admit, right? I can admit that they're really powerful, that they are the meta, and probably need to be reeled back in a little bit. But dang, are they fun. And this one is so good. It is so good. It's so fun to use. My favorite one that I use frequently is my Rampage Subsistence roll, so I can just chain kill after kill if I'm landing my shots. The gameplay in the background showcases that roll, and seriously, this gun ticks all the right boxes. It's beautiful, the design is incredible, it takes shaders well, the sound it makes is unique, it has an excellent perk pool, and it's very powerful. When the weapon is available again, I highly recommend everyone take the time to acquire one. You will not regret it. Third on my list is the returning Iron Banner Pulse Rifle, the time-worn Spire. I really can't say enough good about this weapon. In a world where rapid fire frame pulse rifles are almost never seen, this pulse was such a breath of fresh air. The perk pool is fantastic as well, so your chances of getting a good one are really high. This pulse rifle just chews through enemies like a freaking chainsaw. As a dueling weapon in 6s, I absolutely love it. The one that I typically use has subsistence and iron grip, so it's a laser beam, and I can constantly chain kills while refunding ammo. It really is excellent at crowd control, as you can clearly see in the gameplay here. Lots of multi-kills within a single magazine. And some of my highest kill count games this season are thanks to this pulse. I can hold lanes, take duels at longer ranges, and stay further away from all the stasis ability spam that you encounter running close quarters weapons. This weapon was a favorite of mine back in year 1 when it first came out. I like the look of it, the sound of it, the archetype, and that feeling has been solidified even further with its reissuing, since we can now tailor make it to offset its weaknesses with random rolls and strong perks. Get one. Last up on my list, surprise surprise, is the Brass Attacks Legendary Sidearm. This weapon looks incredible, it sounds unique, and has access to a perk combination that you can't find on other sidearms of its archetype. It's unique in a couple different ways, actually. You can get the Rampage Killing Wind combo, which is absolutely bonkers. That's what I'm using in the gameplay here. And it's also unique because there are no other random rolled aggressive 2-round burst sidearms for us to farm. I mean, there's the Death by Scorn, but I mean, let's be real here. This thing outclasses Death by Scorn by a freaking landslide. It can also roll the new Frenzy perk, so please do yourself a favor and try one of these bad boys out. I'm hooked on using Brass Attacks with Devour and just holding forward and rushing the entire team, right? I get health back on kills while also ramping up my Rampage stacks and Killing Wind, and even getting the charged magazine buff from Surprise Attacks, so I can basically 2-tap with this thing when I'm all fired up. It's nuts. People never play these builds though, because Destiny hands them easy things that are, really, really lethal, and they just flock to those easy things instead. And I don't blame them, but personally, I love how much more involved I am when I'm trying to be mindful of all these different facets of my build and trying to leverage them in combat. I mean, that is pinnacle gaming for me right there. So there you have it. Those are my top 4 weapons of the season. I use them all regularly, and I find them to be very powerful additions to my arsenal. So what are your favorites this season? Which weapons have made their way into your regular rotation, and what roles have you landed on? Let me know in the comments section down below. And if you're ever in the market for a new gaming monitor, feel free to check out my sponsor ViewSonic Elite, as they make literally the Ferraris of gaming monitors today. They're some of the best high-end monitors on the market. So also just remember, we're giving away that PS5. I'll be pulling the giveaway either tomorrow or Saturday, probably most likely Saturday. So Saturday I'll probably be pulling the giveaway for the PlayStation 5 for free. So if you wanted to enter into that giveaway, you'll just have to go, I think it's 2 videos back. It's my We Need Clash Bad video, and the instructions for the giveaway are right there in that video. So thanks for watching. And thanks for supporting my channel. Feel free to leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it, and consider subscribing for more Destiny content. Be warm and well fed, my friends, and I hope to catch you in the Crucible.